Hello and welcome back to Grim Survival. Today is September 18th. I have a laptop, it told me. I also have a tablet, laptop, all kinds of stuff on the desk here in the storage room today. Obviously, I am going to be talking about technology, as the video title probably gave away, which I have no clue what I'm naming the video currently, but yeah, something along those lines. Laptop is here for demonstration purposes, and I have my notes on there. I made notes so I could keep on track in this video, which is something I've been having issues with my last few videos. I just can't keep my brain focused on the right subject, and I go off in various directions. So I am going to attempt to fix that this morning. It is around 9 a.m. this morning. It's still in the 50s outside, started in the 40s, but hey, that's been your grim weather report of the day. Alright, my mouse, it's all glowy. Alright, so I'm going to talk about technology. Digital footprints. How to avoid digital footprints. And yeah, everything along those lines. Like I said, I have notes. So I'll start with the background portion and my qualifications. According to business, if you take a 4-hour class or you do something long enough, you can therefore call yourself an expert. So as long as I have been messing with technology, I am most certainly, by that definition, an expert. So here we go. Alright, so I started working on computers, or working with computers, when I was about 3 years old. According to my mother, I taught myself the alphabet with a computer game on a computer called a Commodore 64. Anyone old enough to remember what a Commodore 64 was? I'm sure there are a few of you. So I had one. We had, it was, what it was, right? Basically a giant keyboard plugged into a TV screen, and you could, it was, I'll find a picture and put one on here for you. Yeah, let it explain itself. Old technology is what it was. I mean, before Windows, before Apple, before Android, we had Commodore. And yeah, it was basically, if you know what DOS is, a DOS-based system where you just type out everything. So you could program in all of your programs just by typing on the screen all the coding. You encoded it yourself. Basically, if you wanted to play a game, you encoded it yourself. And yeah, so I started when I was 3, so definitely I'm an expert. So I have 5 categories here besides that little opening. First category I'm going to go into is hardware. What is hardware? Hardware is, this is hardware. Your mouse is hardware, the laptop itself is hardware, your computer tower, your monitor, all of that is hardware. So, I mean, all the components inside of your computer, hardware. I mean, your graphics card, your motherboard, your processor, hardware. That's what that is. So if anybody refers to hardware, or if I continue to do so throughout this video, that's what I'm referring to. So hard drives consist of, hardware consists of hard drives, memory. I have something, I'll take it out of here. I thought I had one laying here. You can have external hardware, you can have external hardware, and I'm going to try to get this out of here, so this is going to be loud for a second, because, yeah. Keys. Hard drives. Memory devices, memory units. This is a memory device. Can you see that? I'm really far away. There it is. That's a memory device. This is a 128 gigabyte micro SD card. And I have, I guess I don't have it laying here. I have a regular SD card you can plug this into. I also have USB sticks you can plug this into. Obviously, I just took it out of the GoPro. I have another one exactly like this, same size, in the phone, so I can easily record videos. And sorry my head's cut off, but yeah, I'm not getting up to fix the video or the camera. So yeah, you have external hard drives, you have internal hard drives. It wasn't that long ago where nobody knew what a gigabyte was. Nobody. Well, a few people, but the general population had no clue. What's a gigabyte? So they started coming out with the 1 gigabyte hard drives and the 1 gigabyte this. Now we have terabytes, 1 terabyte. And basically, and I don't remember it right offhand. I could look it up because I have all this technology around me, but I'm not going to bother. But a gigabyte is like a little over 1,000 megabytes. The terabyte's a little over 1,000 gigabytes. A megabyte obviously is a little over 1,000 bits. So when I refer to that Commodore 64, it was a 64-bit computer. Yeah, and I mean, this right here has more memory than the space shuttle that landed on the moon. Seriously, this. like a lot more memory, a lot more, power. Technology, it has definitely progressed a lot. All right, so you have your two groups when it comes to, hardware. You have your PC users and you have your Apple users. And yeah, that's really it when it comes to computer hardware. I mean, you also have your Apple versus Android when you come to, devices like this one. This is an Android tablet, so keep that in mind. I have used Apple computers. I have never owned an Apple computer. The reason being is because of their software, which we will get into that in the next category. Their software is not compatible with my knowledge. We'll just leave it at that. And we'll get into that in a minute. But you have things on computers that are built into them. This laptop has a built-in microphone. It has a built-in camera. The camera you can't see right now is right here. It has a piece of duct tape over it because, with the microphone in this computer, I disabled it. I disabled the drivers, I disabled the software, and I will talk about that in just a minute. So this computer can't hear me anymore. Unless I plug in a microphone, an external microphone, which I have one. It's right here. You can see it. This microphone is plugged into that phone, so you can hear me because it's kind of far away. So this is another form of hardware. This is a Bluetooth speaker. Yeah, it's kind of loud too. I like this little thing. It's one of my favorite ones, made by Creative Labs, if you want to know. All right, you can disable your microphone so it's not listening to you. I'll talk about why you want to do that here in a little bit. I can walk you through it, and I could probably show it right here. I probably will, because I'm going to just record how I did it, and you'll know. So after we get through this little section of you seeing how I disabled my microphone on this laptop, we'll move it on. There's not a lot to talk about with hardware. I mean, hardware is just, it's essential. You cannot have software without hardware. Something has to store it and run it. So, keep that in mind. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to category 2, which is software. Software is going to be the biggest category, I believe. Maybe. Software is the programming in the devices. This has software. This has software. Obviously, this has software. This is running Windows. This is running Android. Other things that have software. This is my flashlight. This flashlight has a microchip that has memory in it. The memory remembers the setting I had it on last time I turned it on. The memory knows if I hold the button like this to put it on its little 1 lumen setting. If I, click it a bunch of times, it does the strobe thing and all that. That is software. This has software. Believe it or not. So, this is my coffee. I would like to thank everybody who is donating to my caffeine habit. Really, all proceeds that you donate go to the channel. And I just wanted to say thank you very much. I am in the process of trying to figure out which one of those gyro stabilizers I'm going to get. Still about $20 short though, so I'll get there though. Maybe next payday. All right, moving on. Apple versus Windows. Why have I never owned an Apple computer? Does anybody remember iTunes? I mean, this came out when iPods came out. iPods, that was the little MP3 player that stored all your music. iTunes, it was one of the most annoying things there ever was for a computer. If you had any kind of Apple device, besides an Apple computer, even if you had the Apple computer, you still had to have iTunes on it to plug your iPod into it, to transfer music to it. And this was done for copyright rules and things like that, which did not stop any of the pirates, none at all. I mean, people could download millions of songs. I believe my count before I decided that I was not going to do that anymore was well over 100,000 songs, a couple hundred movies, things like that on external hard drives. I no longer have those, so if any FBI are coming to my house right now, you will find nothing. Thank you. All right, moving on. Apple versus Windows. Apple has their own thing, and back when I used Apple computers was a very long time ago, and I'm pretty sure they're still like that. They don't have a right click on their mouse. I mean, it's confusing to me to use Apple. You don't have access to Apple Apple software like you do with Windows. In Windows, I can go into all of the software. I can go into the programming. I can go into Windows and I can destroy Windows by deleting files I should not delete. But I know better because I've done it. Yeah, how did I learn it? By doing it, really. Alright, we're approaching the 10-minute mark. My phone likes to overheat and stop the video, so I'm going to restart it right here. Give me just 1 second. Did you see me restart it? Because I did. Alright, so Apple versus Windows. Windows has always been what we call drag and drop, really easy. You grab your mouse, you drag something by holding the button, you can drag it and drop files from this little device right to the computer, vice versa. Same thing with Android. Android had that same technology, so you could take your tablet or your phone, plug it into your Windows computer, drag and drop. Apple has most recently, conformed to this method of ease, because their iTunes and how they used to do things was just giving everyone a headache. And yeah, it's one of the main reasons I've never used Apple. I mean, I've used them, but I've never owned them. My wife was a big fan of iPhones. I think the last one she owned was like the iPhone 5, something like that. I converted her to an Android user just by ease of use. I could walk you through, which I'm not going to do in this video, I could walk you through my phone and how to optimize all of your settings. That would be a whole other video, but that is not the point of this channel. And we'll get to the survival point of this whole technology thing really soon. Where am I at here? Software. Software is a problem. Why I disabled the microphone is because the software was listening to me when I didn't want it to. Same thing with the tablets, same thing with your phone, iPhone, Apple, Android, no matter what it is, it doesn't matter. It's listening to you. A good example of software listening to you is Google. Google listens to you. Google will track you. Tracking software on Google is top of the line. Yeah. Why is TikTok being banned? Tracking software. It is tracking you, it's listening to you, it's watching you. It really is. People think that it's a conspiracy that these devices listen to you. They think it's a conspiracy. They don't believe it. And I will tell you the proof. And you can do this for yourself. We have done this. I have tested this theory. And it's what led to this being disabled with... Yeah. Anyway, what we did is, my wife had done it. She was in her office at her job with one of the employees talking about how these things do this, and he did not believe her. So they did a little test and started talking about something he would never consider buying. Nothing. I mean, I can't remember for the life of me what it was. It was like cornmeal or something like that. He was they had a 5-minute conversation about it just to prove the point. And the point is later that day, his Facebook and everything else, all his other apps, started showing him ads for what they were talking about. He'd never talked about it before. He's never searched it. He never looked it up. Or if you're one of these new people, searched it up because your vocabulary sucks. Yeah, I just said sucks when I was complaining about vocabulary. Never mind. I'm not editing that out. Okay. So anyway, his phone literally started showing him ads for what they were discussing, something they never talked about before. It had nothing to do with his life. He had never looked it up. He was talking about it for 5 minutes with his phone sitting on the table, and now his phone is showing him advertisements for that. His phone wasn't active. He wasn't talking on it. He wasn't even using it. It was set in its, lock screen position on a desk near him while he talked about it, and yeah, the ads started popping up. So same thing happened. I hadn't disabled this on this laptop. This is my wife's old laptop. It's being held together by that clip because it is quite rather destroyed. She had gotten a work laptop and she let the kids use this when one of the kids dropped it. The monitor came up through the case, busted the case completely. I had to open the laptop, put it all back together. The case cannot go back together. Things about laptops is you cannot really repair the cases. You have to replace. This is actually the power cord that's hanging out of the back of the laptop. I had to fix it. My background in fixing laptops, computers, tablets, and phones is extensive. I have taken these things apart and put them back together, and I learned the hard way not to do it with a metal knife because you cut the Wi-Fi cords when you're doing that. But learn the hard way. This video is going to go on for a while. Alright, so this thing was listening to me. I was talking about, I don't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with the channel, really. It was either a camera or a gyro stabilizer. I hadn't looked it up before, but I was talking about it to somebody. on the phone near the laptop, and the laptop picked it up, and I started seeing advertisements on the radar, because I keep a weather radar on this laptop because I don't really use it for much of anything, because I can't move it, so therefore it's not really a laptop. To get it onto this desk was quite a challenge. If you move it too much, the power cord comes out and you can't charge it. So yeah, it's a pain. But anyway, the laptop was listening to me. I realized it because I started seeing ads for things I was talking about on my radar app, and I disabled the microphone. I have not had that problem since. Now I get random ads like I should get that mean absolutely nothing to me. Same thing on my phone. I did not disable the microphone for obvious reasons on my phone or my tablet, but I have disabled it so they can't, they still are, and they still can listen to me, but it's harder. So I'm not getting personalized ads because I disabled that because it annoys me. All right, yeah, facial recognition software. The government, they hint at some of their technology here and there. Facial recognition came big on the market. I don't know, what's it been, about 10 years ago now. And yeah, they use this to detect your face. Literally, they know what you look like, because yeah, they know what you look like. They know what I look like. And if they want to find you, they can start searching all the cameras like they do in the movies and find you quite easily. And the technology, you would think that it's still not that great, that it doesn't work that well, but the government never tells you everything they have. They have technology you would not believe. They really do. They have technology I would not believe. Quite literally, they do. And I can't even think to tell you what it could be, because you wouldn't believe it even if I could think of it. So, technology they have, facial recognition, they had it 10 years before you knew about it. Okay, so they've had plenty of time to develop it. They're watching you. They're listening to you. All right, antivirus software. That is basically your insurance card on your computer. This software tells you that your computer is safe, nobody's stealing your identity, nobody's hacking your computer. The problem with this software is it's stealing your identity, it's hacking your computer, and it opens up what they call a back door to your computer. Norton was caught doing this. Norton Antivirus was caught doing this. It's probably been about 10 years ago. They were caught backdooring or allowing government people into your computer through their software. Norton, McAfee, antivirus, same thing. Antiviruses are the same thing as buying insurance for your house, your car, and your life. It's a piece of paper that tells you that everything's going to be okay. It lied to you. So did the antivirus. It lied to you. There is absolutely no point to having it. I mean, there are millions, if not billions, of computers all around the world. Definitely around the world, billions. In this country alone, probably billions. If you count phones and tablets, most certainly billions. And yeah, all of them are hearing you, listening to you, watching you. All of them. All of them have their own virus software. And all of them are not getting hacked. Do you really believe a hacker is hacking you? I mean, really? Why? What do you have that they want? Your credit card information? If you're that worried about it, don't put it on your computer. Don't put it on your phone. My phone is a Samsung. It has that little thing. You can swipe it up. You can store all your cards. You got your Kroger card. You got your Costco card. You can put your driver's license in there. You can put your credit card information in there. It's all right there on your phone for you and anybody else who wants it. I have had one problem with somebody stealing my card information. And it wasn't from my phone because my card's not on there. They actually scanned the chip that's in... I'm not showing you my card. They scanned the chip that's in my card and tried to steal my money, which I didn't have much of, so they didn't get nowhere with it, which was quite entertaining on my end. But yeah, I'm sure they were rather disappointed. You would think somebody sitting in a semi-truck would have more money, right? No. All right. So yeah, I've gone over pretty much Apple versus Android. Apple has really conformed to what everyone else does lately. Like I said, you can just plug them into your computer and drag and drop things now. So, the problem really is Apple versus Windows, Apple versus Android is, and in the tech community, Apple is considered software and hardware that people who don't know much about computers use. That's what it's considered to be. It's also considered to be some of the best technology and hardware for digital artwork, like, I don't know, drawing, freehand drawing, and things like that. Apple is some of the best software, but and some of the best hardware. But Samsung is trying to take over that. Samsung's new laptop has the S Pen, kind of like this. There's an S Pen in this thing too. That's what that is. Yeah, the new laptop has that, and you can set it like a tablet, and you can draw freehand on it. So it's very good for digital designing. So, all right, now to category 3, social media. What stays online, or what goes online stays online. If you have ever uploaded a picture to Facebook, I can find it. Even if you deleted it, I can find it. So, you know, one other thing I forgot to mention when it came to hardware. Same tech, concept with the hard drives and these little things. Even if you delete something on there, I can still pull it off. I've done it. I can pull off videos that I recorded to this thing last year, that I deleted last year. I can still pull them off of here. Police do it all the time. If they get a hold of your phone and you think you've deleted something that you didn't want them to see, you are SOL. Yeah. Quite literally. My mother used to say that saying. I'm going to show you. These are my parents. Neither one of them are, well, it's kind of glary. Neither one of them are around anymore. This picture was taken at a Chuck E. Cheese during one of my kids' birthday parties. And yeah, so I don't mind showing you their picture. I have it sitting here because I've been missing them lately. It's got a date on here, 11/11/2010. So 2010 is when that picture was taken. About, yeah, a month from now it'll be 10 years. So yeah, older than I thought it was. Go figure. All right, where was I? Social media. So what goes online stays online. You cannot get rid of anything you delete. I gotta restart this thing again. It's giving me a warning. I really need a camera. All right, hang on. Yeah, this phone is really not designed for long-term camera use. It's designed for taking pictures and short videos. TikTok loves these things. I don't. All right, where was I? Social media. Google is tracking you. They admit it. Read their terms of service. They admit it. Apps are tracking and listening to you on your phones and on your devices. I have a child who has a game. Utopia Origins is the game. I checked it out once, and the game actually listed it wants to take over my microphone and record audio. I mean, the game is, there's no voice communication in the game. Why is it wanting to record my audio? Why is a game on my phone wanting to track my location? I don't understand the point of that. Ask TikTok. They do. Alright. Social media. Has anyone noticed that mainstream media has taken over YouTube? If you try to type into YouTube California wildfire, Oregon wildfire, and this is just the most recent example, it is increasingly difficult to find a video posted by an actual user like me. All the videos you see come from news services. You're getting Channel 9 out of this state, and you're getting Channel 3 out of this state, and it's mainstream media has taken over YouTube. There is no news that is not from them now. None. You can't get it. You go to Twitter, you have the same problem. If you type in wildfires and things like that on Twitter, same problem. Mainstream media is bombarding the social media so that you cannot see the reality of what's going on. Social media is no longer what it should have been. Free knowledge. That's what the internet was designed to be. Free information. Not anymore. If you're hearing loud noises, the garbage man is, not too far away. His truck is loud. Alright. So social media is not safe. It is not safe at all. If you post pictures of your children, somewhere in there is your address. Maybe your address isn't there. Maybe your pictures aren't on your Facebook. Maybe someone posted pictures of your children on their Facebook outside of your house where your address is listed. I can come to your house now. If I really wanted to, I could. I will tell you a quick story from my heathen days. I used to play a lot of games. I have gaming computers. Way back. I used to play old games. My tablet's making loud sounds. I'm getting emails. I will mute that. Hang on. I forgot this thing was online. Mute the tablet. Go away. Alright. So way back in the day when I was a heathen, I played a lot of video games. In one of my video games, somebody was bothering me. And I don't exactly remember what they were doing, but I didn't like it, whatever it was. And I kept telling the person to stop. And the person kept on doing it. So then I scanned the person's IP address. This was really easy back when we had phone connections and dial-up. This was incredibly easy. It's still not that hard. I scanned his IP address, then I scanned the MAC location, I scanned where he lived, and then I sent him a satellite picture of his house. This was before Google, and this was before, satellite imagery all over Google. This was not a technology that was known back in the early 2000s and late 90s, and somewhere in that vicinity when I did it. The person went offline and I never seen him again. Oops. Alright. Yeah, so it's not safe. None of it is safe. YouTube videos are not safe. If you're making prepping videos, I'm clearing notifications. If you're making prepping videos, then the government knows you're a prepper. So does everyone else. If you're making survival videos, then the government knows you have survival skills. And so does everyone else. If this comes up in a legal situation, it can and will be used against you. It can and will. Most certainly. So, yeah. Ads are listening to you. The phone's listening to you. I mean, if you get an ad from Google that's listening to you, you cannot possibly think that the government isn't. Why are they banning TikTok? Because the Chinese government is listening to you. So they are trying to sell it to an American company so the American companies can listen to you. So there's a big news story floating around about TikTok, and the Chinese government is not going to allow them to sell the algorithm that supposedly recommends videos for you. What else is that algorithm doing? It's listening to you. It's tracking you. It's taking your information. Yeah. So, one of the biggest threats to the United States has been China for quite a while, according to most of the videos I watch, especially when it comes to economics and digital warfare. And if there is ever a civil war going on or a World War III, and it has started right here. It's not with guns, they're starting with keyboards. Knowledge is power. The pen is mightier than the sword, yeah. So, apparently the S pen is now mightier than the sword. Can you see it? It's black on black, I know. Alright. So, this is the good part of the video. Fourth category, technology that helps people. Technology helps people. This is technology, right here. This is hardware, this has software.
The wind was northeast at 13 miles.
Yeah, so the wind was 13 miles an hour from the northeast. Alright, so this is beneficial technology. I mean, if there's an emergency, I can press this little button over here and I can say help. And I know what channels to say help on because I have them all wrote down with an actual pen on an actual piece of paper, because I know enough about technology to know that it can and will fail. Can and will fail. If you are counting on all of your survival books and all your survival information on your phone when SHTF happens, your plan is flawed. Write it down. Write it down, fold it in a piece of paper, put it in your wallet, put it in your bug out bag. Buy actual books. Actual books. This was my mother's Bible. I'm opening it up to read it to you. I'll let you see it. Because, yeah. 1990. Oh, let's not break it. Can you read that? I don't know if you can read that. Can you read that? My father had given it to her back in 11/17 of 1990. He loved her more than anything on this planet, including himself. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had a phone call come over the phone. It was rather important. I had to answer. It was rather stressful and distracting, and I had to just rewatch the last clip I made to remember where I was at. I was talking about books and actually having real books and, writing down your plans on actual paper so that when technology fails you, which it is bound to happen, it happens all the time, when technology fails, you still have your information that you need. So don't rely on your phone. It's good to have it on your phone. You should still have it on your phone if you so desire, because it's a quick reference. You can, get to it fairly easily. But Don't trust the phone not to die. Don't trust the battery not to run out. Don't trust the thing not to just crap out and never work again. Because it happens all the time. Why do you think we have new phones every year? Because they don't have a long shelf life. They really don't. The battery in that thing only lasts 3 to 5 years. If you have a phone that's about 5 years old, you'll know. Because your phone probably needs charged twice a day. Your phone probably is a lot slower than it used to be. My camera's a little crooked now. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Alright. So, where are we? Technology that helps. Technology that helps. This is technology. This is, I'm going to show you this. This is my coffee cup, and I do have some of that Starbucks coffee I was talking about yesterday. This is a Yeti cup, and this is my Yeti lid. Now, have you ever had those lids on these cups that spin, and you get all that stuff under it, and you can't never clean it? This is a Yeti magnetic lid. So look at this. This thing comes off, so you can clean it. And it goes right back on and closes your cup. I love this lid. I do. It was a gift. So was the cup. It's a Yeti cup too. And it keeps my coffee hot for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours. Other technology that is very beneficial to people. This right here is a mouse. This mouse has a lot of buttons on the side. This particular mouse, you can take this off. If I can, wow, that's, oh, maybe I'm holding it. There we go. You can take that off. The whole side came off. And then you can put this one on. Well, where is it? Oh, a screw came off. I was probably had lost it. Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 computer screws stuck to the magnet. Alright, you magnet that thing back on, and now you have a lot more buttons. Can you see all the buttons? Now this would be beneficial if for some reason you couldn't use this and you can still use this. You can program these buttons to anything you need on your computer. So if you need to press enter really quick, and if you're like scrolling through something, you want scroll buttons, whatever. You can program this to any button on your keyboard or any button on your mouse too. So it's also a very good beneficial thing to have. Technology has saved people's lives. It really has. With the survival gear we have, survival technology saves people's lives all the time. The aircraft, the National Guard rescue that I watched on YouTube not too long ago. I mean, the technology is beneficial. Technology has definitely made an overpopulation problem, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Medical technology has saved so many lives, and it's so beneficial. I mean, yeah, and I don't trust all of it, especially the vaccines. I don't trust them. I don't, but that's a whole other video. Technology has made things like these chemical lights. This is just a light. Well, it's just a stick, really. You break it and the chemicals mix and it glows for up to 12 hours, it says. I keep 2 of these next to my bedside table, because what if I wake up one day and my flashlight just doesn't work? Why wouldn't it work? I don't know. Would an EMP kill something this small? Would it? Would you trust it not to? Because I don't. So if I wake up in the middle of the night, and I would if the power went out, because my fan would stop blowing and that would wake me up, or my dog would bark, wake me up. Anyway, if the power went out, this ain't working. This doesn't require any circuitry. This doesn't have any electricity. This is just chemicals. But it is technology, because without the technology, you wouldn't have the chemicals. Technology has been so beneficial to so many people. They now have prosthetics that are robotic. I've seen a person standing in Walmart who one of his legs was made of metal. He was standing. He was walking. You couldn't do that 100 years ago. Peg legs? The pirate stories? No. It was wood, right? Maybe. But, ow. All right. Technology has been very beneficial. Technology also has been very detrimental to quite a lot of people, especially the vocabulary of teenagers. Have you heard some of these teenagers talk? I have one. Have you heard them talk? Have you? Because, man, they abbreviate everything. Yeah, I was listening to or reading a study, I don't remember exactly which, about a month ago, where it said, a couple hundred years ago, especially back during the time of Shakespeare, several hundred years ago, our vocabulary was well over 10,000 words. The average vocabulary now is like 2,000 to 3,000. That is, yeah. So technology has made everything so simple and so easy that it's actually making people dumber. Because if you okay Google and what is 2 plus 2, and it tells you, then you don't never have to say, well, you need to go 1, 2, 1. You don't have to use your brain. You use its brain instead. So therefore your muscle up here isn't getting the exercise it needs to continue to function like it has to. To cognitive reasoning and detection skills, deductive, just, all the words I'm trying to think of that my vocabulary has been, squashed because of my devices. I have a lot of technology. I'm technology heavy. Technology. I use this to hear. I really don't hear very well out of this ear. And yeah, if I really want to hear something 2 rooms away, I just put both of these in and crank it up to maximum volume. I could hear you whisper on the other side of the house. Yeah, I really could. Love these things. Samsung Galaxy Buds, check them out. This is my Galaxy S6 tablet. I have a lot of Samsung. That's a Samsung Galaxy Note. I am definitely a Samsung fan. Why? Because of ease of access. Drag and drop. Alright, we are in the technology. Yeah, we're getting into the very end of the video here. So my last category I have on here is just my opinions and things that I was writing down. So number one, and this goes right back to what I was just saying. If you can't Google a problem, where do you find it? If you don't know the solution to something and you cannot Google it, you can't search it on your phone, look it up, where are you going to find the answer? There is a spider crawling across the wall over there, and I can't tell. It's actually on the window. I can't tell if he's inside or outside. He's probably trying to be inside because it's cold out. Okay, he's on the outside. It's a double pane window, so he's on the outer pane. I think. I don't know. He's not bothering me. I don't like spiders, but yeah. Anyway, distractions. Technology. If you can't Google it, where do you find it? Have you ever heard of a library? Yeah, they still have those. You can still go to them. They have things in there that you may not have heard of if you're, one of the younger generation. They're called books. Yeah, these things have paper in them. This paper is just like your screen. It has words on it that you can read, except for they're bigger. Yeah, they don't say LOL. They say laughing out loud. All right, enough bashing technology. Technology has really caused the overpopulation problem. The population boom of the last 100 years is because of the technology and medical science and all of that. This is why we have so many people. It really is, because before that, the average lifespan was a lot lower, and diseases wiped people out by the hundreds every year, thousands, millions every year. Yeah. But technology. Yeah. So next time you're driving in a traffic jam in that car that has all that fancy technology, they have cars. That's loud. If you have cars, you have these little remotes, auto unlock and things, and they have them now where you just walk up next to your car and it has that device in your pocket and it knows you're standing there, and you just you pull your handle, it unlocks your door for you, and you don't have to plug in your key and turn it anymore. You just keep that thing in your pocket and you push the little button, your car starts. This has become the Jetsons. Anybody remember the Jetsons? Why are my cars not flying? I'm disappointed. I need a flying car. Technology has helped so many people. One thing I forgot to mention in that was I've always wanted to be a pilot. My lifelong dream was to be a pilot, and I never got around to it because obvious reasons. It's just, laziness on my part. Got distracted, decided to drive trucks instead because it was quicker and cheaper. Being a pilot is expensive, takes a long time, and you don't make that much money unless you actually have done it for many, many years. So, and nowadays with the airlines all failing, being a pilot's not very profitable at all. But I'd still always wanted to fly. So technology, I have X-Flight 11. I will show you a picture or video or clip of it in here somewhere. X-Flight 11, I think is what it's called, is the flight simulator I have. Simulation program, simulation software has been used for military applications, military training. It's been used for, they use it in schools, they use it everywhere. So simulation technology. I have watched plenty of pilot videos and pilot, how to get a pilot license video, and all of them say the same thing. The guys that come in there who have spent 100 hours on their simulators, on their personal computers before they come to flight school, they already know how to fly the plane. So by that knowledge, I already know how to fly the plane. And I probably could. No questions about it in my mind anyway. So technology has caused a lot of pollution. A lot of it. Like I said, these phones and things like this, they don't have a long shelf life. So I mean, what happens to these things when you're done with it? You throw it away or you leave it in a drawer somewhere. Eventually somebody else throws it away. Eventually it makes it there. Have you ever been to a pawn shop and seen all the old phones and old laptops that are in there that they can't even sell because nobody wants them? Yeah. So it's caused so much pollution. The manufacture of these things causes pollution in the air. How you discard these things causes pollution. The batteries in them are toxic, and you're throwing them away. I mean, these things are toxic. Your phone's putting out radiation that gives cancer. It's a proven fact, although if you try to look it up, there's so much contradictory information. So the Bible, and I was going to look up the quote. I'll throw it up at the bottom of the screen because I'm going to look it up. I was going to look it up before the video. I'll look it up here in a minute after the video. There's a quote in there about knowledge, about how near the end of our time we will have an abundant amount of knowledge on everything. So they posted some new pictures of Jupiter a couple of days ago. They've scanned it in infrared or something like that. Looked pretty. It was a pretty picture. You can see one of its moons, I believe Europa, around it. If you've never had a telescope or the ability to look through a telescope, go to a public one and look in the middle of the night up at one of the planets that are floating around us, because it's just it's awe-inspiring. To me, it was just an amazing thing. So yeah, anyway, how to avoid leaving a digital footprint. Okay, so digital footprints, why would you want to avoid it? Because it's used to track you. It could be used to find you. It can be used to find your family. It can be used against you in court. It could be used against you in everyday life. Your job could use it against you. Your job can log in Facebook just as well as you can, and if you say, "Oh, I can't, I'm sick, I can't come to work today," and then you post pictures of you partying at the bar later, guess what's going to happen? Your job's going to know. So phone completely cut it off that time. It had reached my maximum size limit for a video, and I had to restart it again. I really need to get a camera. This video is probably an hour long at this point. I haven't been timing it, but yeah. Where am I? So I completely lost my train of thought there. Technology is, avoiding digital footprints. That's where we were at. So, the reasons why you should avoid your digital footprint is obvious. How do you do that with this day and age? Have you ever heard the term a burner phone? They like to use it in movies a lot now, and it's basically a prepaid cell phone that you bought from Walmart. That's not avoiding it. I mean, in order to set up those prepaid cell phones, it wants your driver's license number, your social security number, it wants your information, all of it. It wants all of your information. Really can't tell if that spider is on the inside of that window or the outside of the window. He's bothering me though. I think he's on the outside still. Yeah, never mind. So, yeah, you can't avoid technology. You really can't. It's everywhere you go. It's everywhere. It's in everything. I mean, your car has Bluetooth now. Your car has a microphone. Your car's listening to you. If you have a newer car. If you have an older one like me, it's not listening to you. My car don't care what I say. That's good. Cameras are everywhere. Everywhere. You cannot drive down the road without a camera watching you. You can't go into a store without a camera watching you. Those cameras are linked to the internet so that the owner of the store or, the traffic control people can sit at a remote location and watch them. So they are hooked to the internet. You can look at traffic cameras in your area right now. Technology has definitely been beneficial. Like this has compass and a thermometer in it. This is a digital watch. I just had to put batteries in it yesterday. It's a Casio something or another. But technology is extremely dangerous, especially to people like us, people like preppers. It's dangerous because they know what you have. So one big thing about how to avoid having a digital footprint and how to avoid, putting all of your information out there. Don't have Facebook. Don't have it. It's listening to you. Don't have Twitter. Don't make YouTube videos of all your prepping and survival gear. Oops. Avoid places that are overcrowded with everyone on their phone. I mean, if you ever walk into a place, everyone's on their phone. Like a restaurant, you sit down, everybody has their phone sitting in front of them. They're staring at it. Guess what? Their phones are staring back, and they can hear not just them, but you too. Yeah, Viking Preparedness, Pastor Joe, he's done videos on technology and how it's listening to you before, and he tells you what you shouldn't do with your phone. I mean, the man was in, I believe, the CIA, Special Forces, things like that. He knows. So I believe him, and I know because I know. So yeah, try to not leave your digital footprint. Alright, that's pretty much all I have for this. I have a lot of stuff sitting around me. This is a Wi-Fi card. You plug this into your USB and the Wi-Fi, you know, if you don't have Wi-Fi on your computer, which would mean you have an old one or a broken one, because yeah, the Wi-Fi thing got broken in here when they dropped it, so I had to get that thing for that reason. Technology has definitely been very beneficial in my life. It's made some of my work a lot easier. Trucking companies have all gone to digital logs now. Paper logs were hard to do. It took forever. You know, I mean, you have a certain amount of time in your day you can do stuff, and you're spending an hour drawing lines on the thing, and you're remembering what time you did this and that if you didn't write it down right away. And then all these truck drivers had the logbook that they would show the cops and the logbook that they were actually keeping, because I don't know why. Why would you do that as a truck driver? Have one that you're planning on showing to the authorities and then have evidence of that one being not, I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. Technology has definitely helped in my line of work, and technology is what I'm trying to use now to create a new career with building online businesses and such. That is, yeah, I need advertising money. That's really what's delaying me. Advertising is expensive. All right, digital billboards. Yeah, you seen those things? Those things are expensive too. Wow, I've seen a digital billboard that somebody forgot to put the ad on, and you could see their Windows desktop, and you could see their mouse moving on the giant billboard. It was quite entertaining. It was Windows 10, if I remember correctly. It was an older operating system, but yeah. Patreon. One person said I should make a Patreon. I'm going to make it just for the one person. Probably not today, but I will get to it. There's other things, technology, communication-wise, that you can use to avoid, you know, avoid people listening to you so easily, although it will still happen. I mean, really, you can't get away from it. If you go off-grid and live in the woods, don't have any you know, phones, don't have internet, don't upload videos, don't record anything, maybe. There's still a satellite floating around you, and it's still taking pictures of you. Just, you know, type your address into Google. You can usually see the date. I've typed old addresses into Google that I used to live and see my vehicle sitting there. It's quite entertaining. So yeah, technology, it's been beneficial. It's also very dangerous. And that's pretty much all I have for you. I'm going to stop rambling now. This has been Grim Survival. Remember, give the video a thumbs up, like it, share it. Click that little bell icon if you want notifications. If you really want notifications, YouTube's not really giving to them, go click the like button on my Facebook page. It's listed in the description. I post every video that I put online. I usually post them on there. I save for one or two. But that would be the easiest way to get notifications if YouTube's not giving them to you. So go ahead and give me a like over on Facebook. I'm not using it for anything else. I do have a private Facebook group. Some people are in it, some people are not. There is a way to find it. I'm not telling you. Yeah, I don't want it full of riffraff, I guess is how Bear Independent put it, which is fun, because I do get a lot of... I've deleted a lot of comments off YouTube. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so this has been Grim Survival, and I gotta find the S-Pen